I just wanted to show real quick, this is my configuration for washing 4 sets of pump parts. Count them, 4 sets of pump parts and 4 bottles in my countertop dishwasher. My Mom Cozy bottle washer that I had and used regularly for a very long time, I could never fit more than 2.5 sets of pump parts at best. I have here 2 sets of traditional Lansino pump parts, it's traditional flange, and 2 sets of wearables. I've got the Eufy and I've got the Lansino Discreet Duo in here, so let me show you. Up along this top row, I have bottle nipples and then caps. In this basket, I have all of the small pieces of pump parts, really. And yes, I know what you're thinking. These are not going to get clean. I promise you, they do. I try not to usually fill it up this much. I like to leave a bit more empty space here. But I've made up for that by having these like vertical, and that helps a lot with making sure that water is still coming through to get to the basket. This one, I think I'm actually just going to move that over here so that there's a little bit more empty space. I like to make sure there's as much empty space in the middle as possible. I put flanges in the corner usually, flanges or big cups. I will never put bottles in the corner because this corner in particular does not get clean there. This corner does a little bit better, but this one really nothing gets clean here that is enclosed. And so doing a flange, it allows enough water to hit around this area that it goes through and still gets it clean. I have the tops of the Lancinos lined up here. I got these over on the sides. So basically, I'm just kind of creating as much open space as possible in the middle while also putting the bottles in the middle-ish whenever possible instead of out on the edge. And then on the edge, I have the things that are bigger that water can hit here and still make it back to the other areas. I used to use Cascade. I hate Cascade soap. I think that it's very ineffective. I had to go rescue my baby. She had climbed onto a box and was then trying to climb off the other end. So I had to stop that from happening. She's in toddler phase, despite not actually walking yet. So anyway, I don't do Cascade dish soap anymore. I felt that it left a really gross residue and was not getting things clean. So instead, I now do powder dish soap. I think that it works way better for a countertop dishwasher. I don't know, maybe it irritates it more. I don't know. This is just the Kirkland, and it comes in pods, and I actually just cut it out of the pods because they no longer sell the Kirkland at my Costco just as powder. So I just cut it out of the pods so that I can use the correct amount for the dishwasher. So yeah, if you're one of those people who was on the fence about bottle washer versus countertop dishwasher, there are definitely downsides. It's really going to depend on your space. I made my cabinets really short because I am short, and so I didn't have enough space on my countertop to actually put my countertop dishwasher. So I have mine on my kitchen island, and that means that I have to have buckets next to it, which are an issue for my baby. You know, she's in toddler phase. Now she's trying to get into the water buckets, but she does also listen when I say no, so that helps. I do feel like it's a little bit harder to get my Zomi cups clean because they have such a small opening, but I can still get them clean in the countertop dishwasher. I just have to kind of angle things right to just be careful about it and also wash them right away. Those ones I don't ever wait. So if you're wondering, Kim, many months from when you told everyone to get a countertop dishwasher, are you still happy with your countertop dishwasher? Are you happier than with your Mom Cozy bottle washer? Yes, I am still happy with my countertop dishwasher, and I do prefer it over my bottle washer. That being said, if I were not exclusively pumping, I would probably have the bottle washer still, because that is sufficient for if you are just using bottles and maybe 1 set of pump parts per day. I'm using 4 sets of pump parts per day, and I do not do the fridge method. So for me, the countertop dishwasher is 100% worth it because I can run it 1 to 2 times a day and always have everything done. So it just depends on what works for you. If I was just using wearable pumps, I can't fit 4 sets of wearable pumps in here, but I can fit 3 sets of wearable pumps plus bottles in here. I maybe could fit 4 if I didn't also have bottles, but like, when am I gonna not have bottles? The other big downside is it really doesn't get things dry, so I do move things over to my sterilizer dryer. I have the Baby Brezza sterilizer dryer, and I move things over there, and I don't sterilize anything. I just get it dry, and that makes a big difference. This does get things somewhat dry, but not really very dry. So anyway, that's just my little update. Kim, how are you still feeling about your countertop dishwasher now that you've had it for so many months? That's it. I really like it. I do think that it makes my life so much easier, and I would not go back to not having it while still exclusively pumping, even with the buckets on the floor. Anyway, have a good day.